G'day guys and welcome back to Reactor Videos. I appreciate having you here. Thanks for all your support. Today we're going to be talking about the current meta. We're going to be talking about troublesome decks such as the Eldritch Synchro deck and also the Adamancipators that are currently absolutely smashing it up on pages like Australian Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. I've played on this page and found these decks very hard to beat. I'm going to be giving you some advice about some of the cards I tech in to try and combat some of the issues that these decks present, because it's very, very hard to get all their combos off when we've got so many negates on board. So stick with me, let's get into it. So guys, the last 3 months we've seen big changes in our current game state. We've seen the likes of Eldritch and Adamancipators come in. They've been challenging Salads and Dinos. And just there are those 4 decks I believe are going to be sitting right at the top, with our Eldritch Synchro at the top. Number 2, our Adamancipators. Number 3, and a close 4 will be Salads and Dinos. And then after that, you've got all these other decks which we've seen through playing Australian Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. They've been brewing. We've seen big decks being played, like, you've got your Orcast, of course. You've got Subterra Control, Shaddoll Invoked Mech Knights. You've got your Dragon Links, all those other decks get entwined into this current meta. It's going to be very hard to predict anything outside of number 5 onwards, I think. I'm very confident in those top 4 decks. I think they'll do very, very well for quite a while. Decks like the Adamancipators are going to get fossils, rock cards which are coming out. We'll discuss that in another video, but that's going to boost that deck. We've got some really competitive stuff. So let's check out these pie charts, and we're going to show you exactly what Australian Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments have sported and the current game state that we've seen with the decks that have been produced. Check it out. So, on our Easter weekend we had 4 Eldritch, 2 Salads at the top. So, the Eldritch actually came into gameplay about that time, and you can already see it's made an impact on that particular tournament. Moving on to our next one is number 1 pie chart. So we've got 3 Salad, 3 Eldritch, 2 True King Dino, 2 Invoked, along with other competitive decks that we commonly see in the current meta that we have. Our next one, at number 3, we had 6 Salad being played, 3 Adamancipators, 3 Eldritch, 2 Dinos, Orcust and Subterra. We're seeing some consistency, guys. Moving on to number 4, we got Salads at 4 being played in that particular event, 4 Eldritch, 3 Dino, Adamancipators, along with your Rocket Shaddolls, Red Maju and BA. Now, let's get on to number 19. Number 19 pie chart was played 1 week ago, and this is the most current and most probably evidence-based one that we could probably go from. We have 7 Eldritch being played in this event, 2 Adamancipators, 2 Dinos, a BA, your Grand Maju, Invoked, Orcust and Salad. Guys, our most consistent decks used across the board from this particular tournament base is going to be Eldritch, your Adamancipators, the Salads and Dinos. Let me show you some cards to help you out with these troublesome decks. They're extremely powerful and very hard to stop at the moment. Check out these cards, these might help you out. Okay guys, let's check out our first card, Dark Ruler No More. I think we should use this against our Adamancipators and also against our Eldritch, because it shuts down those troublesome cards such as Boral Savage Dragon and also Herald of the Arc Light in Eldritch. In your Adamancipators, it can shut down Boral Savage again, it can shut down Appaloosa, it can shut down Needle Fiber, any of those cards which are causing you problems, even Naturian Beast, which is currently being used. I think it can help you move your deck along and get past those cards so you don't struggle. Another card I can suggest is DD Crow. It's very, very good, because when your opponent would send an Eldritch card to grave, or any of them could, it doesn't even have to be the monster, it can be the traps, anything that's going to cause you problems. DD Crow it, yes, it targets and banishes it, away it goes. Now if you targeted a monster, for example, it's going to be 1 less Eldritch that you have to deal with. Also too, it can help with any deck. It doesn't matter which deck it can be. If you've got something that you know is going to activate in grave, DD Crow it, banish it, get rid of it. Our third card I'll suggest, Nibiru. Absolutely fantastic card. We've already seen its power in the current game state that we've got. It's also showing its power at the moment against decks such as Adamancipators, your Salads and your Dinos, those high summoning decks which rely on getting all those cards out to make other monsters and do other things. It stuns your opponent, it gets that token out once they've done all their moves and stuff, leaves them with not much left in their hand, and it starts the turn with you being able to just get rid of that troublesome token and set the field up to your advantage. Moving on, we've got our evenly matched, absolutely brilliant card. Yes, you lose your battle phase, guys, but those cards that you want to see gone, such as in the Eldritch, those traps that just keep coming back and back and back, if you can manage to evenly match that deck, you're getting rid of a lot of those cards just activating Grave, and it can be troublesome for the Eldritch to recover after that happening. Also, it hits any other deck which has got lots of negates on board or anything like that. If you can manage to get past and get rid of all those troublesome cards on the field and start from scratch, leaving your opponent with not much in hand, it's a bonus and away you go. Some of our special mentions, we've got our Ash Blossom, Impermanence and Ghost Ogre. So a lot of those cards, obviously, that I've just mentioned, that could be all used in your main deck if you have the room. You're going to ash things in your Adamancipators or in your Eldritch opponents. Make sure you hit their things like their Mecha Phantom Beast, Aurodons. Also too, you can hit Fibrax or Needle Fiber. That hurts your opponents in your Rocky deck. Another card which I can suggest is using Dimensional Barrier against your Eldritch Synchron deck, because obviously they're going to be bringing those synchros out to try and bring up those negates. Just hit them on it early as you can to stop them bringing those troublesome negates out and stun them and make them weak where you can. Alrighty guys, that wraps things up. Thanks very much for watching. If you guys are chasing any of those cards to help you combat any of the current meta, jump on Australian Yu-Gi-Oh! Auctions. Kyle Hughes, absolute legend for the game. Thank you very much for what you're doing. Your prices on that website are absolutely brilliant. Big shout out to my editor, thank you Jason Pickett, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much all my viewers, I love the support you give me, absolutely appreciate it. Like and subscribe, good luck in your dueling.